Like right here, I got this 250,000 MR points. 250. Nobody in the space or industry is getting $250 or 250,000 member rewards points. Nobody. I just don't see it. And so if you know how to...
Hello, you're listening to Ready, Set, Go Real Estate Investing Podcast, presented by Brandon Elliott. This show will be going over all aspects of real estate investing and is intended to educate, motivate, and prepare you to take action on your first or next real estate investment. For more information, please visit BrandonElliottInvestments.com. Thank you for listening and enjoy.
Let me see here. Cool. All right, so we are good to go. I'm going to be sharing with you guys how to be able to get up to $500,000. It's going to be pretty awesome. You guys are going to enjoy this one. I'm going to pull back the curtains and really give a deep dive into that. And you might be a little cautious behind this or not believing that it is possible. I encourage you to stick along with us, okay? Let me see. Make sure that you guys, if you could, do me a favor and make sure that you can hear me properly in the comments below. If you could just let me know, I'd greatly appreciate it. Also, you guys know Facebook's algorithm. Come on, baby. Let's see them. Let's see them. Left and right. Little hearts popping up as well. And if you could comment below where you guys are coming in from. If you are watching the replay of this later on, that's okay. Just put that hashtag replay. If you're watching the live right here, right now with us, then make sure you put hashtag live and let me know where you guys are coming in from. Also, any questions related towards credit, I want to hear that. I want to talk about it. I want to bring it up. I want to answer it. I want to break off all those myths that we grew up with. And I really want to show you how to be able to get a fat stack of credit cards and lines of credit from the banks and really get the banks overall just to say yes. Get them to say yes, yes, yes to anything and everything that you apply for. We're going to teach you how to get up to $500,000 every 6 months at 0% interest. And something that you can keep on doing. And yes, it's going to be for business credit. And yes, it's going to be for personal credit. And yes, if you have bad credit, don't worry about it. We're going to dive into all this stuff. So let's just dive into it, right? Do you guys have any questions? Anything from the very start? Put in the comments, let me know. Otherwise, once again, we are going to be getting and teaching you how to be able to get up to $500,000 every 6 months at 0% interest. I know it's a big, bold claim. You've never heard of it before. Don't even believe it to be true, and that is okay. But if you think about it, what I want to really show you here is that the rich have been doing this for how long? Oh yeah, forever, okay? The mega rich, I'm talking the billionaires, the 1%ers, right? The Elon Musk, the Amazon, Jeff Bezos, really any of the top CEOs, Richard Branson, and like all these, everybody on Shark Tank, right? Basically, all these guys and gals know the power of credit. They know the power of leveraging OPM. OPM is just other people's money. And a lot of us, especially real estate investors, understand OPM to a certain degree when it comes down to people, okay? Getting money from friends, family to invest in real estate. Cool. It feels good, first off, to do that because you're helping out friends and family. That's great. Mom and pops, right? That's amazing. However, there's also a burden on you of like, dang, like this is an investment. Something could go wrong. You never know. And if something does go wrong to grandma's money, then like, oh my God, what's that going to look like? So that's some pressure that we have to sleep with. And also it's going to cost you 8, 9, 10, 12, 15%. I've heard of, people's situation. In fact, up to 20% and higher in some cases. So what I would prefer, instead of you giving out your equity, instead of you giving out pieces of your business, is to really identify that the banks have been screwing us over for a very long time. We give all of our money to the banks. They give us 0.00% back. Very, very little. $1 million is in your account. They're going to give you maybe $5 at the end of the year, if that. And the simple fact is that they are lending it back out to who? To us. And they're compounding it 9 times over into all these different products and services. And they're making on average 500 to 3,000% on their money. Strong ROI. I'd be very happy with that. So our goal is to teach you how to flip the script on the banks. Instead of us giving them the 0% interest type of money so that they can put it to work. We are going to teach you how to be able to put it to work as well. So, and if you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe to Ready, Set, Go Real Estate Investing Podcast. It means the world to us. You get a new notification every Monday where you can get the notification, watch the newest episode, and leave that 5-star review. Definitely love and appreciate all the support as always. But let's just break this down. Even if you have a late payments, collections, derogatory remarks, if you're, 18 years old or you are 70 plus, if you're anywhere in the middle, if you are going through tough times or living it up right now, if you are struggling with bad credit or you have great, amazing credit, we can help you, show you the techniques to be able to get money from the banks and flip the script on banks. Now, by all means, this isn't going to be for everyone. I used to say that everybody with a social nationwide, we can help out. I quickly found out that there is a mindset that is going to be ready and prepared for this. And there's a big division in itself. When it comes down to credit, this is not going to be easy. What we are teaching here is not easy. I'll be the first to admit that and really shove it down your throat. This is not easy. If you're looking for an easy pill, an easy handout, it is not going to be easy. This is not for you. However, it is simplified. We have broken down a step-by-step proven process, formula, and system that does truly work wholeheartedly. And I know that it can best serve you to the third power, right? I know it will totally change your life if you show up at least 5 hours per week, if you have a US-based address, and if you have a social security number that you can, you need to have that. I'm not going to have that. I had a lead come in the other day that thought that I needed their social. I don't need your social at all, okay? But you need to have a social. So somebody that's out of the country, this isn't going to work out for. We can teach business credit to those individuals, but it takes 6 months on the minimum to really start getting that compound going. So at the moment, if you're US based, if you're traveling the world, that's fine, but you need to have a local address somewhere in the States that you can utilize and have a social security number. And really just a positive mindset. Be coachable. If you're not coachable, it's going to be very, very difficult. And I'm going to share with you the nitty gritty today, but I'm telling you up front that this, in the short period of time that I have available with you right here, right now, it's not going to be enough. It's just not going to be enough. I do hope that this gives you the full ammunition to be able to kind of load up and be able to realize the importance of credit and the possibilities of credit. And then you can take this on your own and I'll give you resources and locations and just step-by-step things that will benefit you greatly, wholeheartedly. I know it will benefit you. However, if you want to go there faster and further and really avoid a hell of a lot of mistakes that many of us make, including myself. I've lost over 9 bank relationships with over $900,000 in credit lines that I could have made into multiple millions in credit lines that I don't want you to make some of those similar mistakes, right? We've been through it. We've done the trial and error. We have the resources, the techniques, the connections, and we know what to say and how to say it and how to position you to be in that powerful position, to be able to get a 90% approval odds when you apply for 10 to 40 plus credit cards in a 30-day time frame. I can show you how to remove all the hard inquiries and all the BS that's holding you back from getting to the 800 club and staying at the 800 club, because everybody deserves that. Now, wherever you're at, trust me, there's been members in our group of Credit Counsel Elite that have been either exactly where you are at or in way worse case scenario with, a bankruptcy that was removed. Chris, Tim, Trevor, they were able to remove a bankruptcy in just 1 hour worth of time. There's others that removed in 30 days. We also have other individuals that came to us with a 500 FICO score with a ton of late payments, with over 100K worth of debt, like Tanisha, that was able to delete it in a moment just like that. Really incredible stuff in just 10 business days to be able to get it removed and very minimum type of work. So There is a 4-step proven process that I want to share with you here, but I just want you to make sure that you're not discounting yourself or excluding yourself from the possibilities that can truly take place within you today. Okay. Whether you have a job or no job, this is typically based for business owners and have the right mindset to be able to grow and scale something tremendous. But again, it's not going to be easy. So the 4-step proven process it's very simple. It's 4 steps, and it is educate, fix, build, then leverage. So let's just break these apart right here. Educate. Now, educate comes down to understanding how the banks, the credit bureaus, the third-party agencies, the lenders, and all these other corporations and so forth, how they're judging you and how they're looking at your credit and interpreting it, right? It's important to identify the 6 boxes that actually make up your credit report. You guys can see this. This is a simple spot, just like Credit Karma, right? This is Credit Karma, where you should never look for actually accuracy on your credit report or even your FICO score, because it's not a FICO score, it is a Vantage score. So be mindful of that. However, for demonstrations here, I'm going to just share this with you that these are your 6 boxes. And they used to make it really easy for education purposes. Now they're making it a little bit more difficult and more salesy, more promotions and spamming or advertisements to be able to buy products and services so that they can make money finally. But these are the 6 boxes that you want to be aware of. The first 3, payment history, credit card use, which is utilization, and derogatory marks, those are all high impact to your FICO score, right? The next one, credit age, is going to be a medium impact. And then the last 2 are low impact, total accounts and hard inquiries. Most people think that the hard inquiries is like the meat and potatoes. That's like the holy grail. It is not. In fact, it's a low impact. Those last 2, total accounts and hard inquiries, only make up 10% of your FICO each. So that's 20% in total right there. The average credit age, that's a medium impact, that makes up 15% of your FICO. And then starting from the very top, payment history, high impact, it makes up 35% of your FICO. And then credit utilization, your credit card use, that one makes up 30% of your FICO, high impact. Derogatory marks is a high impact. However, it does not have a percentage attached to it. Just know that if you get 6 late payments in a row, it will turn into a collection, a charge-off. If you have a bankruptcy, a court order, eviction, a repossession, any derogatory marks that show up, if you just get 1 on there, it is going to be a big smack to your credit score. It's going to drop your FICO score at least 60 points. So you do not want that whatsoever. And it will hurt you for the first 1 to 4 years pretty badly. So just be mindful of that. Same thing with payment history. Your first year of having a late payment, it's going to hurt drastically. So you won't be able to really get any funding. And it's harder to overcome that. There is ways to be able to get it overturned as paid as agreed. But what you're going to want to do is call up the banks to get them to change it to paid as agreed. And I'll give you some tips and tricks in just a moment. But if you have late payments in the last year, it's nearly impossible to be able to get any type of funding. So you're going to want to get it removed. If you have it from 1 year to 2 years, it makes less impact and you can start getting funding, but it's still hurting, right? And then the next category is 2 years to 4 years. You can get a bunch more funding, but it's still hurting your credit just a little less, right? And then after 4 years of age, it's not hurting your FICO score any longer. However, the banks can still see it and they may ask questions behind what happened in the past, okay? And that's where you come up with your sob stories. You say, hey, this happened, or it was the bank's fault, it wasn't you, and that's where you can kind of work something out and they will consider your application and still get you funding, right? When it comes down to these 6 boxes, there are 3 that are made for fix, there's 3 that are made for build, right? Payment history is going to be fix, derogatory accounts, fix, and then the hard inquiries is fix, right? So it's kind of every other here for a second. Now for build, so what you want to do is fix first because it's educate, fix, build, leverage. So you want to fix first, and then next you're going to jump into build. Once everything is fixed and cleaned up, Then you're going to jump into build. And that's where the other three boxes really take shape. That is where you have the total accounts. You actually want 21 plus total accounts. You want the average credit age. That is the medium impact, right? It's 15% of your FICO. You want 9 years plus average credit age. And then your utilization, your credit card use. That one's a high impact, but it makes 30% of your FICO. It's important to actually have 1 to 3% on your utilization right there. If you can have it at 0, great, but 1 to 3% is still really, really good. It's going to put you in the top 1%ers. And it's a little secret formula that I'm giving you here today, because most people will say, 29% and below, you're in the green. That's true. 9% below, you're in the best category. But there's a secret sauce here of doing 1 to 3% that will get you higher limits and more faster, stronger, instant approvals, right? So just be mindful of that. Now, all 6 of these boxes are in great shape. 100% payment history, utilization 0%, nothing derogatory. 9 years and 6 months for the average credit age, perfect. Over 21 plus total accounts, 64 here. And then hard inquiries, 0. So that's really what you want to have. That tells me right there that this individual, aka me, it's over 800 FICO score, right? So that just sets you up for tremendous success. Let me dive in here. All right, so back to just us. When it comes down to really like how I like to look at education is that this is real life monopoly that we're talking about. We're talking about real life financial monopoly that we are playing each and every day, except so many people out there, everyone really, is playing with their finances like real life monopoly, except they don't know the rules of the game. They don't know the rules of the game. Think about that. Like, you don't know how to be able to get the banks to say yes. You're tired of them saying no and getting denied or getting lower limits or holding you back from and you know that you're a good steward of your funding. You know that you always pay things back, that you have good history, that you have assets right there, but they're labeling your real estate as a high risk industry, right? There's so many different factors that come into this mix. It's like a big spider web. So therefore you get frustrated because you're getting denied, and then you start looking for other resources like giving away half your business so that you can get the funding that you truly need to be able to grow and scale this because you're passionate about your business. I get it. However, once you identify the rules of the game, like real life monopoly, you'll stop missing out on, when you land on Park Place, you're not going, like most people just, when they land on it, they're not taking the money in the middle, right? When they go around and hit pass go, then they're not collecting the $200, right? So when we teach you the rules of the game, then you can actually implement them. You can win and succeed and get as much funding as you truly deserve. Get up to $500,000 every 6 months at 0% interest. And the whole goal to this is to be able to fund your lifestyle. If you have opportunities coming to you on a regular basis, real estate, growing and starting a new company, hiring on employees that are high level that you can take away from your competition to be able to grow and scale your business, keeping up with your competition that has the funding and resources to be able to pull the trigger fast, being able to beat out other offers on deals because you have the liquidity and the cash readily available to be able to fund anything because you know how to talk to the banks and get them to say yes. When it comes down to really not being able to, you don't want to give up half your company, half your business, a quarter of it, a fraction of it, doesn't matter. You want to have complete ownership of what you work so hard to build. And I get that. So when it comes down to starting the new business, travel hacking, really being able to leverage your finances and your credit into assets that are going to generate you, generational wealth, that's what we are looking to accomplish here. So if you have opportunities at your fingertips, great. If you're slacking and money is the issue to be able to fund those because you're so good at getting the opportunities, but don't have time to figure out the finances and it's starting to hold you back, you're missing out on opportunities passing you, then we can show you that aspect. We can show you that element and to be able to connect the dots so that you can keep taking down more territory, grow and scale your business faster and sooner than ever. So we do not encourage getting this funding and then afterwards buying the $20,000 Gucci sweatshirt. That's a no-go. Okay, no. However, if you are going to buy like the Lamborghini, we had one member, Nick, buy a Ferrari that he ended up $200,000 Ferrari. Afterwards, he was renting it out on Turo, making money from it. So that's okay. If you can use it for the brand, the tax write-off, and you're making income from it, that's okay. We've had other people like Brandon Smith be able to buy 2 planes with it, buy a property in Huntsville, Alabama, to be able to also buy a property here in San Diego, California, and so much more, multiple cars as well. If you are making money from it and you're putting it to work and you turn that liability into an asset, then that is okay. And that's exactly what we want to teach. So understanding really how the banks and lenders are judging you and how to play the game is what we're all about. We teach you that for the education, and that's an ongoing thing for the education, of course. Now, fix, right? When it comes down to fix, we got to look at all the derogatory boxes, right? That's going to be payment history, derogatory accounts in general, and then it's going to be your hard inquiries. So when you look at your credit report, first off, you should be, there's a link in our bio that you can go to in our link tree that you can get your true credit FICO score. Many people don't understand that just because it's on your app and it's free, if it is free, it is not correct. Okay. If it is free, it is not accurate. It's not up to par. It could be close. I don't want to discount it, but every single person, whether you're in the 300s or 800s, you're going to need some type of fix. Okay. So I got to caution you on this. Every single person needs some fixing. Okay. Yes, I'm talking to you, Mr. 800. If you have no late payments, nothing derogatory, little to no hard inquiries at all, you still need fixing. The good news is that it's only going to take about an hour of your time. Now, on the contrary, if you have late payments, collections, derogatory remarks, any hard inquiries and so forth, then there's techniques to be able to get it done in just a couple hours. Like hard inquiries, we can show you how to get rid of in a few hours. With 30 minutes of your time, you'll see it gone in, that afternoon. Collections, doesn't matter. We can show you how to remove those in a couple hours as well. Personal identification info, same thing, a couple hours of your time. And that's what you want to consider. Like if you're already in the 800 club, you may have some old outdated addresses on there, some old phone numbers, some old employers. You want to remove all that stuff. Less is more when it comes down to your personal identification info, right? So you want to have only on there your date of birth, your full name that's accurate, and then no known as names, right? Remove that stuff. And then your current address, right? That's it. You don't want anything else on there. The old outdated addresses, remove and delete all of those because it is holding you back. Less is more when it comes down to your personal identification info, okay? And then, if you have any late payments, collections, derogatory remarks, you can easily go to cfpb.gov to be able to file a complaint on there. It takes about 15 minutes. And you'll be good to go. We have some training on that as well. If you guys need more information, by all means, just reach out to me. Let me know. I'd love to help you. It's very simple though, okay? And you can go down the rabbit hole of just filling out the right stuff. It'll be very easy, education to be able to fix those situations. You will get a response back within 15 to 60 days. And it's going to be from a shot caller that has the ability to be able to remove and update that negative information. So, and just know that whether it is accurate or not accurate, just so you know, anything and everything can be and will be deleted, updated, improved, removed. All of it can be in your favor. It just depends on the time. There's no guarantees when we're dealing with this fixed side because it can take time for these bureaus and they can give stall tactics and give a lot of BS. So it's important to know how to move. And if you need to get to the point that you're taking them to court so that you can show up, they don't want to spend the money, you can delay the process and you can win 9 times out of 10 because the courts are actually more in your favor than you believe, right? The courts are actually more in your favor for the simple fact that they know that the banks have been screwing us forever. And so in many cases, you can get it deleted plus win some finances over it for the situation. Now, you could use cfpb.gov. You could also use betterbusinessbureau.gov or .org, I believe. And then you can also use Attorney General's office as well online and file a complaint on there. All of these resources will be able to help benefit you. And you can use ChatGPT to be able to, write quickly something to dispute this information. It's very simple to be able to get some updated, accurate, letters and things needed to be able to know what to say and how to do it in the right order to be able to get things deleted and improved and labeled as paid as agreed. Now, after the fixing is complete, right, then we're going to move on to the build. That's the other 3 boxes. That's going to be your total accounts, your average credit age, and then your utilization, right? So in total right there, that's 10, 15, and 30% of your FICO. That's 55% of your FICO. That, my friend, is a big deal. So what we're going to want to do is after all the fixing is complete, you're going to be roughly around a low to mid, maybe higher 700 club. And that's okay. However, to be able for real estate investors out there to get the best of the best rates, you actually want to be at 760 to 780 range or above. Be able to make sure that you're getting the best of the best rates. Okay. However, you actually want to get to the 800 club, and you can do it in 30 days or less. That's the good news. And so doing this, like how this works is basically adding and boosting these 3 boxes for the build. So you want your utilization, once again, at 1 to 3%. And so if you have any debt, you're going to want to get business credit cards at 0% interest and hide that personal debt onto the business side. Many of us are doing business. However, we start off by paying with our personal credit cards, which is not setting us up for success. So keep that in mind. Get down to the 1 to 3% and you'll be in great shape. Worst case scenario, 9% or even 29% below will set you up for success. When you get to 30 to 49%, you're in the yellow, and your score will start, hurting from that as well. But more importantly, once you hit 50% and below, it's going to drop your score. You're in the red. It's going to drop at 60 plus points and not be good at all. So be mindful of that. It's going to be a snowball effect of closing out accounts if you get that high, because the banks are doing soft pulls every single month. So if you are in that situation, make sure that you freeze all of the 3 bureaus, TransUnion, Equifax, Experian, and the third-party agencies. There's thousands of them out there, but a quick handful are going to be LexisNexis, SageStream, Innovis, ARS, and CoreLogic. These 4 to 5, SageStream and LexisNexis partnered together. But those 4 right there, they are data collecting companies, but they act like the credit bureaus. And so when you freeze them during fix, it makes it more difficult for the 3 main bureaus to actually verify that information, right? Back to the build here. There's so many things that I could really deep dive into, and I want to make sure that I'm respecting everybody's time. When it comes down to the build, you want to boost up all those scores. So 1 to 3% for utilization. Total accounts, you want to be at 21 plus. It's not those old school myths that we all grew up with saying, hey, only have 1 or 2 credit cards max, maybe a third one for emergencies, right? That's not the case. Banks actually want to see that you can manage your money and manage your bank relationships and be responsible with it. And so they want to see 21 plus total accounts. Now, there is 6 different type of accounts that make up the total accounts. It's going to be personal credit cards. It's going to be retail credit cards like JCPenney's or Victoria's Secret and so forth, right? Next, it's going to be personal loans, auto loans, mortgages, and student loans, right? So those 6 are going to be the total accounts that you could have. Now, you don't need to have all 6, but if you had a combination of 2 or 3 or more, that shows a good mixed use, which is great. You don't want to just have only one, like only credit cards. That's it. That's not going to be good. And over time, naturally, everybody gets mixed use pretty quick and easy. 2 to 3 is going to set you up for success or more. But if you're not anywhere close to the 21 and you're well below 11, then just aim for 11, right? And what brings me to my next point, or how to be able to get to 11 without applying left and right and trying to get approved randomly. You don't want to do that. You want to do it strategically and calculated after you get the proper education on how to do this. But underneath the average credit age, we actually want that to be at 9 years plus. 7 years plus is going to be in the green, but 9 years plus to put you in the best category. And that's 15% of your FICO. It's a big deal. But if you have less than 5 years average credit age, you're in the red. And it makes it really impossible. And many people struggle with that because all they're doing is they're averaging it out. They're looking at all of your total accounts opened and closed on the personal side, and not just credit cards, but all types of those 6 that I just mentioned, total accounts. And so they're averaging all that together, then they're dividing by that many accounts that they just added together, and then they see what the average credit age is. And what I can tell you is that if you're 5 or below, you're going to be in the red and it's going to hurt you. It's not going to be good. No bueno, right? You want to be at 7 years plus, but 9 years plus is going to set you up to the best. But you may ask yourself, like, hey, Brandon, like, how am I supposed to go back in time to be able to get some credit cards in the past so that it can have a higher age? Because if I apply for any now, they're going to be 1 month old, and it's going to bring down my average credit age, which would be, again, no good. Well, the good news is you can actually add and jump on to other people's good credit history on their cards by adding authorized users. So there's a couple of rules when it comes down to authorized users. First off, you want to look for somebody like friends, family that will lease this out to you. It is a business. You can find them online for very expensive. I wouldn't recommend it. Or you can reach out to us and I can guide you and see. We have an authorized user calculator. It's on our website as well at creditcounselingelite.com underneath the resources. At the very top, you can click the resources button and go there. By filling out all of your total information and then plugging and playing, like, hey, if I add a 20-year-old card or a 30-year-old card, will that get me to the 21 plus total accounts or 11 accounts, and then be able to boost up my average age because it's a very old card. Now, the cards that you get added to, what you're looking for is a very old card, 10 years plus, ideally 20 or 30, ideally. And it's all calculated. So nothing can be derogatory on that account. No late payments ever on that account. They could have a bankruptcy, collections galore, everything else negative, and all their other accounts bad. But the 1 or 2 or several credit cards that they add you to as an authorized user, it cannot have anything negative whatsoever. Very important and very crucial. Because whatever that good credit history is on that card that they just added you to, in 30 days or less, it's going to report to your credit report, because the statement closing date, there's a statement opening date, 30 days later, there's a statement closing date, and then 2 to 3 weeks later, there's a due date. If you do not pay by the due date, you get late payments. So we encourage everybody to do that, right? But also we encourage you to focus on your statement closing date and pay off that balance in full about 2 to 3 days prior to the statement closing date, because then it will have time to reflect and update as $0 balance, and that balance will get reported on the statement closing date to the 3 credit bureaus, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. Doing so, it's going to show your utilization very low, put you in great spirits and history on your credit, and on your credit report, it's going to just help boost up your score. So do that for your own personal cards, but also looking at the authorized users, what you want to do is give them your full name, your date of birth, and your social. Now, anything additional, like a phone number or address, especially, is going to come from the seller. So if you get your uncle or friend, family, parents to be able to add you as an authorized user, they're going to add their address and phone number and your full name, your date of birth, and your social. Afterwards, that new card with your name on it is going to show up to their house, and they're going to call it, activate it, cut it up, and throw it away. But that new card is going to show up underneath your personal credit in the next few weeks. So this is the thing. You cannot, as the buyer, hurt the seller on their credit whatsoever. You don't get access to their card. You can't make any purchases. It's literally just for their good credit history to report onto yours. And that's why there's benefits to it, and it is a business, and sellers typically get paid for it. And we've made one guy just in 1 month's time frame $21,000 because he had an arsenal of older age cards that were worth some money. And instead of paying $5,000 online, they were $1,000 with us. And when, no middleman fee or anything, but straight to the buyer and consumer, instead of online, they will give the seller $100, but charge $2,000. So instead, we'll charge $500 and make it a complete win-win for the seller and the buyer going straight to each other, and keep it more frequent instead of just once a year, because each authorized user has anywhere from 5 to 10 spots available. Now, just because the buyer can't do anything and can't hurt the seller's credit, it doesn't go the same way for them. So when the seller they have their personal info, the date of birth, the social, and also if they forget a payment or have a high balance on that card that they add you to, it's actually going to hurt the buyer. So the buyer cannot hurt the seller could hurt the buyer. So it's important that you are verifying that it is a low balance, nothing derogatory on that card, and know when the statement closing date is so that low balance follows and that it reports properly. You don't want to be added to an American Express card either, because that starts at a brand new 1 month old age, okay? And obviously no business cards. It's just for personal to help boost up your score. By the way, a lot of people want no PG and just business credit, only EIN. I get it. But be a good steward of your funds. And they do that because their personal credit is jacked up. And now they want to get business credit because they have opportunities, but they weren't a good steward of their personal credit. The thing is, if you are a good steward of your personal credit or learn the ins and outs of personal credit and you stay at the 800 FICO score, you can get a ton of business credit and be a good steward of both and really set yourself up for tremendous success. Until you're making $3 to $5 million per year and can show it on paper, a lot of banks out there are not going to be giving you huge lines of credit at no PG. It's just not going to happen. There's several out there that will. Trust me, you could still get several $100,000, no docs and only EIN. But we do encourage to build out a strong personal credit profile that you can maximize your business credit profile. Okay. And the business credit, that's going to be another topic I'll touch base on just a moment. But after you get your score boosted up, the best part is you can get it to the 800 club in 30 days or less. Awesome. Guaranteed. Next, you're going to want to do a mass apply. A mass apply is simply an application sequence where, when done correctly, you're going to be able to get anywhere from 10 to 40 plus credit cards at once. I'll share some fun facts with you right now. When it comes down to the world record on as many credit cards as possible from one person, active, open accounts, it's going to be 1,638, I believe. So 1,638 cards. You think this is a lot of cards? This is amateur. This is baby hour. All right. I got more here too. I got more, but and I got more in other places too. They're all over the place. But what I want to encourage you with is that also, another world record, one individual in just 1 year's time frame, the most cards ever achieved in 1 year's time frame was 143. The cool part is his best friend, and I love this statistic, his best friend was able to get 138, just 5 shy from the world record. What does that tell you? That tells you the circle of your influence. You are the average of the 5 people that you hang out with the most, right? So being in communities and cultures and groups that are going to set you up for success and want the best for you, but also talking the same lingo and all bumping each other up and getting to the next level. You learn from other people's mistakes. You learn from other people doing the same thing alongside with you. And you can really, go to higher levels, next levels together. And so what that looks like doing the mass apply is that there's no list of cards that you're going to go after that's going to be the same. If there was, I would just give it to you. But think of it like your mass apply is like a fingerprint. Every single person's is going to be different. And it's really identifying how to put the cards in the right order so that you could get the instant approvals and get a 90% approval odds. So you can get the highest limits, $100,000 on one card itself, first brand new applying for it. So where you can get 10 to 40 plus credit cards over a 30-day time frame, not over a 1 hour time frame. I see a lot of people trying to apply for 10 plus cards in just 1 hour's time frame. Do not do that. You want to make sure there's no fraud alerts on your credit report, that there's no freezes on the third-party agencies, that you get more instant approvals, that you also have a bank relationship, right? That you go in person to a branch, you open a new account, and you have multiple products and services from that account. You have a strong balance in there, an average balance that they've been judging you over the last 30, 60, 90 days, or even sometimes 6 months, because there's an internal rating that has to do with, you getting easier and more instant and approvals and higher limits, that you really set yourself up for success, right? You can get sign-up bonuses of anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000 plus every 6 months by simply just getting these banks, opening new bank accounts where they will give you a bonus for opening a new account. Like Chase, $750, you put some money in there and over 60 days, you'll get it. Even just applying for new credit cards, they'll give you several $100,000 in, like right here. I got this 250,000 MR points, 250. Nobody in the space or industry is getting $250 or 250,000 member rewards points. Nobody. I just don't see it. And so if you know how to talk to them, if you know how to position yourself, if you know how to get pre-approved and get more of the instant approvals and get to opt in to pre-screening so that they can really check your credit, see that you're in the 800 club, see that you have a bank relationship for several years, that you have multiple accounts with them, that you have a good balance with them or putting credit in there. They're judging you off of where you're from, like your location, your age, your job description, what you're saying on the application, how much income you're making, your regional location, your industry, all these different things. There's so many moving pieces. On top of that, every single bank has their own bank rules of thumbs and policies. So policies, for example, certain people are applying for high-level credit cards with a certain bank, but they don't realize that one of the policies with this bank is that you actually need to have one of their highest checking, premium checking accounts. And instead, they only have the basic checking account, right? So you want to be mindful of that so that you're not screwing yourself up here and that you set yourself up for success. And bank rules of thumb, you might have heard of this, the 5 and 24 rule with Chase, or the 2 and 30-day rule with Chase, meaning 2 and 30-day rule. If you've applied for 2 cards with Chase in the last 30 days, you will not get a third, no matter if you have perfect 850 FICO score or not. Even if you've been approved for 5 new cards, any type of cards in the last 24 months, that's 2 years, you will naturally get denied. Even trying to get in there for 1 and 30, right? It's just not going to happen. So you want to be mindful of all these things. Every single bank has anywhere from 1 to 3, sometimes even 4 types of bank rules of thumb and policies. So you want to know these things. You want to set yourself up for success. You want to put the cards in the right order so that you can confidently and boldly know that you're going to get a 90% approval odds. Next, when you do your mass apply, you're going to get a ton of funding if you know what the hell you're doing. And just from my personal, I want to caution people right here because I really just don't want it to bite you in the ass. There's so much more that you can get. And I don't want you to settle for less with 50 or 100,000 when you can get 500,000 or more. Duncan got 650,000 when he did his. Ryan got 487,500 in new credit lines with one card at $100,000 in credit lines. Do you understand the power of this when you know what the hell you're doing and that you do it confidently and boldly and that you hit the reconsideration line and get those overturned if it was originally denied? Trust me when I say this is well worth your time and investment to do this the right way versus trying to do this winging it on your own, okay? So what I want to caution you with is most people that I come across, even in our group, will raise their hand and say, yeah, I think I'm ready. I'm good to go. I'm ready. And it's that's where we step in as coaches and our customer success manager and our team together. We look, we test you and we're like, hey, let's see. Tell me why you put the cards in this order. Why are you going to, go after? Do you have a bank account with them? No. Oh, okay. Do you know that you need to with them? What about the bank rules of thumb here? What about the policies over there? What about this? Why'd you put it here? It said they care about hard inquiries when American Express doesn't. I wouldn't put American Express up top. I would put them at the bottom. There's so many different factors and strategies that you can go with. And most people will raise their hand and say, yeah, I think I'm ready. But we challenge you and we test you and we make sure that you're ready. And what I can tell you is that most aren't ready until they really deep dive and that they have us to step in and really guide them and make sure that they take a chill pill and that they learn certain things that, yes, you mastered 1, 2, and 3, but there's about 10 other things. There's 25 moving pieces to this. And you might have missed a couple and haven't totally soaked that in or overlooked certain things. So I just caution you because if you're anything like me that run and just get shit done, Trust me, you don't want to do that because you're going to be disappointed and frustrated and just go along with the masses of all the people that think this is BS and think this isn't true. But the simple fact is, I always challenge people like, is that the truth or is it your truth? Because I can show you confidently our credit lines. I can show you confidently our bank relationships and my bank account. And I can show you confidently, the real estate that we've bought. Went from broke, busted, disgusted to $8.5 million in real estate assets and $30,000 a month in passive income. And also from real estate. That's not, taking into consideration my other ventures that I invest in. So when it comes down to understanding these things, I encourage you to take a chill pill and really understand every moving piece so that you can truly succeed and not settle for less. Is it the truth or is it your truth, right? So after doing the mass supply, you can do business credit first, then personal credit. Then you can go after any type of, fleet cars. You can go after business cars, and you can do it just like a mass supply and get multiple credit cars. We've had a buddy of mine. He got over 100 cars doing this method in just 1 year's time frame that he put on Turo and is crushing it in Vegas. So there's opportunities. There really is. All right, next is once you get all this funding, then what? Then it comes down to the leverage piece. And we're big advocates of infinite banking strategies, of taking that finances and setting it up into a life insurance policy, pulling out 94% of it 10 business days later, and still having the money stay in there, and you're arbitraging the difference, guaranteed to make a certain amount. And then the interest rate that the loan that you're taking out against it is a couple points less. So you arbitrage it naturally. It's not much, but it does compound over the next few years that you could borrow from that will set you up for tremendous success, and you get tax benefit write-offs with it. So you can take this funding, take the credit, put it in there, pull out the money, and then put it to work into other things. Now you got your money working for you multiple locations, and that's what the banks do. Like they do 9 times over with their resources, with their understanding of how to put money to work. So we're going to teach you several different methods. I am a big advocate of real estate. It's changed my life greatly, and it can for you too. I'm not a rocket science, scientist. I'm not anything special. Like if I can do it, you can do it. I came from broke, busted, disgusted from New Jersey. I was a big pothead when I was younger. I had an explosion in my apartment making hash oil, and I burnt 40% of my body. I was induced into a coma for a full week. I had to learn how to walk again. I went through 3 surgeries. Like I screwed up my life to a certain degree, and God gave me a second chance to be able to rebuild it and put it on the right track, because I was well far off the wrong one. And with my personality type, I needed something very drastic to be able to pull me off of that one and put me on the right one. And I pray that it doesn't get that bad for you, but everybody's on your own journey, and we are all stubborn in our own ways. So you may, your worst day on earth could just be the beginning of your best day on earth, and you might not see it originally, but down the road, you'll see it. And I wouldn't, change it for the world. I'm just glad and blessed that nobody else got hurt, and that the skin graft, I got some really good doctors that put some good skin back on me. So with that being said, I received house arrest. I received 2 felonies, a misdemeanor, and a new opportunity to get back out there and to jump into real estate, to utilize credit and be able to compound my success a hell of a lot faster than I anticipated or assumed. So you can start a Turo business, real estate. You can do hard money lending, private money lending. I'm doing hard money lending right now, earning 20% in just a 60-day time frame. There are many different ways that you can do this. You can start up an e-com store. You can start, a delivery business. There's whatever your business is. I want you to be excited about your business and start getting creative again, because now, guess what? The biggest bottleneck that you once had, the money, it's not the problem anymore. Okay, now it's the opportunities coming your way, but you'll start getting creative. And you don't, just because you have the credit doesn't mean that you need to use the credit. And as far as staying organized, we give you spreadsheets, we give you customization, charts to be able to set things up. You set it and you forget it. And then you have one place to go to stay organized and keep a peek on it, to really see what the deal is. where I can use the cards to get the most ROI, the biggest bang for my buck. Oh, where I can leverage it, what's that 0% interest? What's not? What's the high cash rewards card? What is the 0% interest, the business, the insurance card, the travel card? Like, which ones will set me up for the most success? Speaking of traveling, you'll be so gifted and blessed to learn techniques of traveling the world for free. Jen and I, in just 2 weeks, are going to Europe for a full month, and we're going to like 9 different countries. We're going to have a blast, and we're doing it all for next to nothing. Literally all of the flights, and there's a bunch. They're all free. We're going to be in a double-decker plane, lay down, with a bar, with upstairs, with showers, like just crazy experience on Emirates, one of the classiest, nicest airlines, right? And you can too. Absolutely free. And just learning how to move points around, how to be able to get the free flights, how to be able to get the upgrades, how to be able to get the penthouse suite. We're staying at so many Marriotts because of a Marriott, connection and passes that we have and we sell. We have opportunities for you that you can literally, like, I'm having a $1,300, it's usually a $1,300 night at one of these hotels in London, and I'm going to get it for $92. We stayed at the Ritz-Carlton multiple times it's normally $1,100 plus, and we're getting it for about $100. Like, these are all possibilities for you that you can take advantage of. And guess what? It feels good saving a ton of money, but it also feels good, obviously, when you're making money, but also bumping knuckles with all the other people that paid more and that are higher level individuals that you want to network with anyway, right? So just know that one of the biggest regrets that people have when they're on their deathbeds is that I wish I just had more time to be with the loved ones that I have, to spend memorable moments with them, and to be able to travel the world. Okay. When you can travel the world and do it for free or next to nothing, then why not bring your friends, family with you? Why not have the credit to be able to take down more territory, get more passive income? And everybody, even if they just get 2 to 3 properties, like Duncan, he got $650,000 in new credit lines at 0% interest. He bought 3 properties with that. He's making $9,000 a month. He's got $3,000 of his own cash into it. That's it. If you can come up with $3,000 of your own money, and guess what? You got bonuses for some of that $650. So it just comes down to, at the end of the day, I encourage you that you can get this funding. $9,000 a month will totally change your life from getting passive income. The average person, right? Totally change your life. And if you can travel the world for free and do it with friends and family and get the penthouse suites and all these other things, it just makes life that much more exciting and memorable and enjoyable. So life's too short. I hope you take this to heart and do something with it. If you guys are interested in just simply getting a second opinion and having a one-on-one call with either myself or somebody on our team, then this is what I encourage you to do. There is a video on our website. It's www.creditcounselelite.com. Feel free to jump on there, watch this quick 10-minute video to understand a little bit more into detail and a little faster me breaking this down today. And what it's going to look like is you'll be able to schedule a time within the next few days that you can either jump on a call with me or somebody on my team to be able to talk about your situations, your pain point of what's stopping you to get to your goal. I want to hear about your goals, and I want to see where you're currently at now, so we can give you a strategic plan on what that looks like to be able to get you there sooner and faster than later. And it's all complimentary. It's going to be on the house speaking to you. We normally charge $1,000 plus per hour to have these conversations. However, we're going to give it to you complimentary as long as you just say, Ready, Set, Go, Real Estate Investing Podcast. If you say that you heard it from here, Ready, Set, Go, Real Estate Investing Podcast, then we are going to take care of you, have that complimentary call, and just talk about your situation and give you a second opinion on what you could do to be able to get there faster and sooner than later. We'll talk about some of our products and how we can best serve you. And what that looks like. But really, I just want to see you succeed and get a second opinion on this. And I'm sure you're going to have a ton of questions, which is okay. Come there prepared, write down your questions, pull your true credit report first, and bring that as well so that we can really help guide you tremendously. Bring a friend, family member if needed, just to be able to help them as well, like might as well. If you have a business partner or significant other, we encourage them to be there so that you guys can both get the value from it. And the questions that one person comes up with may be completely different or encourage another question from another individual, which is what we want. We want to be able to empower you so that you learn this and that you can succeed with it. I'm only one person and, I can't help out everybody. But if I can teach you how to put on your mask, how to fish, how to be able to get the results and change your life fast and really make a remarkable impact, then I know that you'll be able to do it with your significant other, your friends, your family, your circle of influence, your city, your town, and so much more. So I hope you found value in this. I hope we broke down more of the step-by-step pieces and it's not as confusing or troublesome. And looking forward to seeing you guys on the next podcast episode for Ready, Set, Go, Real Estate Investing Podcast. That's every Monday. Hit that subscribe button, leave that 5-star review. Follow us on social media. It's Brandon Elliott Investments for Instagram and then facebook.com/Brandon Elliott Investor. And like I said, visit creditcounselelite.com. That's www.creditcounselelite.com so that you can watch a quick 10-minute video by hitting learn more and just write down any of your questions. Pull that credit report from my link tree on social media. Underneath Instagram, you'll see it. And bring all your questions on that call so that we can give you a second opinion and show up to the call. Like I said, we give this complimentary, but we will be interacting with you to make sure that you will show up to the call, or else we will be canceling it because we have hundreds of people asking us about this each and every day. And I'm not giving it for free for everybody to be able to jump on this call. So I want you to show up, really take it to heart and play to win. If you are tired of being tired of where you're at and you really want something bigger and better, be able to get to your goals faster, sooner, with less headache and really get tremendous success from it. Like I went from broke, busted, disgusted to 8.5 million in just a matter of years, just a couple years. Okay. And I've been traveling the world and I can't wait and I love it. And I'm in a $2.1 million house right now, about to turn into like a 4-point-something million by building 2 units in the back. There's things that you can do to totally compound and transform your life in such a short time frame. So I hope this encourages you. We'll see you on that call. It's www.creditcounselelite.com. Have nothing but respect and love for you guys. We also are a for-purpose business. So every investment that comes towards us, like I said, we normally do $1,000 just for the initial call. But any investment besides that comes to us, we also give a portion of it to a nonprofit that we believe in. We built 3 new homes in Mexico last year. We helped out thousands of people with clean new water for a lifetime in Africa. And then, funding and supporting Underground Railroad to help stop child sex slavery. And it means the world to us and Jennifer and myself. So love you guys so much. www.creditcounselelite.com. We will see you on the next episode. Till next time, God bless. Peace.
This has been another episode of Ready, Set, Go Real Estate Investing Podcast, brought to you by Brandon Elliott. For more information, please visit BrandonElliottInvestments.com. Also, please don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment below. Thanks again for joining. Until next time, God bless.